Here we go. Start off with e4. Okay, e4, e5, got a classical response there. We play the Ruy Lopez. Plays the old Steinitz variation, original Steinitz. The modern Steinitz is kicking the bishop first. Okay, so here we are. Guess I could just develop. Have a slightly bigger presence in the center. This weakness over here, maybe it'll matter later, but doesn't do much for now. His knight is in an awkward spot. Could I just push the h-pawn? Well, the queen can take it right now. Push the f-pawn. Stepping aside, so when I push the f-pawn, this knight isn't pinned. It's not pinnable. Actually, I probably didn't have to worry about that. Probably didn't. Okay, so I can kick this knight, but then it'll have a good square here. So I'll bring the bishop around. He's not putting any pressure on my center. This is a loose pawn. He can attack with his rook. That's what I would do. Put the rook there and attack the pawn. If he wants to trade, I don't have a problem with that. Let's step up and defend this knight, though, so I can maybe route the other knight around. Now he kicks. Okay, so drop back, defending this knight. Doubly defended. Okay, this knight has stepped out here. Where is he looking at? This square is taken. This square is taken. He can't go anywhere from there, so I'm not sure what the point of that is. Here, let's centralize my rook. And he went back. Okay, was he just making a mistake there? Anyway, I'm going to lift this pawn up so it's no longer exposed to an attack. Bring my knight forward. Yeah, looks like he hasn't quite got an idea what to do. He's just shuffling his pieces around. I will just gradually move things forward here. So I could at any time take this dark squared bishop, but I'd rather he push this pawn first, right? It makes it a bit more interesting. Push this pawn forward. He takes, I take, he takes. He's got more force on it than I do. Okay, I'm thinking of just pushing this pawn up to chase that knight away. He did indirectly start to look at the center. That's a good idea. Okay, I will step out of the path of that bishop. Makes sense. Now let's, I could take first. Takes with the bishop, then yeah, I get to move this pawn forward, which is what I wanted. I wonder, actually, looking back here, did he ever have a chance to... there, he could have taken my pawn here, but he chose to take the other one. He could have taken this pawn instead. Okay, what now? He likes to bring his rook forward, okay. And, well, I still like this file for a rook here. Let's put a rook here. Queen check is guarded by this bishop, but I have to be careful about that, I guess. So yeah, he didn't trade. He went for... I have this check here. It's a fork. Okay, looks like that's a good way to get an advantage in this game. Let's see, bring my queen forward. Bring my rook forward. Could put the bishop here. Yeah, I think that's a queen trap, isn't it? Where does the queen go? Knight, pawn, bishop, rook. Ah, it goes here. Okay. But surely there is something here. Threaten this pawn and then bring the queen in. Guarding the checking square here, he could check me here. Step up and then there's no other check. So he goes there, hitting the knight. So if I go here, then I'm threatening mate anyway. So he has to move his rook, or move his knight. Can't take my knight. He has to move his knight. If he goes here or here, I can take it with the bishop or the rook. If he goes here, I can take with the knight, although in that case I lose this rook, so I'm not sure that's the best. Maybe I just grab a pawn and bring the queen in. Let's see. Oh no, the knight can't go here. The knight has to go on the light squares. Oh, so he gave up his queen for... so the knight could have run to here. I was looking at the wrong squares there. So he gave up his queen for two, for a rook and a piece. Okay, let's see if we can mate him with the material on the board. I'm going to check here if he attacks my queen. Let's see, just check here. And then we'll threaten mate here. And he resigned. Let's see. Actually, there's not an immediate mate, is there? Well, I mean, I'm winning. He can defend with the knight move. And then it's a mate in 8, starting with g4. I guess I chase the knight away. He has trouble defending this square. Or he gives up material. More material. Yeah, if he moves the knight, I mate him. If he takes the bishop, I mate him. So he attacks it with the rook. And I can still take here with check. And it's still a mate in 4. Okay, so eventually there's a mate there. Okay, a nice game to start with. Here, let's get another game. And welcome to the stream, everybody. That was my first game this session. Okay, Mr. Yasser El Arabi, 2024. Oh, 1807, so a good rating. I used to be a 1800 rated player here on JimsChess. Let's see if I can get it back. I decided to start doing this because so many people were bringing the bishop out here. Is kind of annoying, so I'll just put this pawn here in advance. And he puts the bishop there. Can kick it. And he goes there anyway. Okay, so which way should I harass the bishop? I should harass it this way because if he drops back, it's trapped. So he has to go back this way. Okay, so this looks like a good start here. Let's finish developing the queen side, and I'll start bringing the king side pieces out. Okay, so he's building up to d4, maybe play d5 later. If I go here with the knight, he can push the e-pawn immediately, so I want to stop that. And then he can take, or he can push, or he can push. Let's see what he chooses to do. He goes for a queen trade. I have the rook taking back here. So I think if he does that, I'll go here. He takes, I take. Gives me these doubled pawns here, but I can blockade this pawn with my bishop. Ah, he takes, okay. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So I can throw this in because it's with check. Thereby avoiding those doubled pawns. And then oh, this is a problem. Actually, he already had a tactic here, right? This pawn push here is a double threat. Well, he pushes, I take the bishop, and he has a choice between taking back or taking the knight. It would be a double threat if I were to play bishop here, huh? But I want to play bishop there. I do. Here we just blockade that pawn. Because he could take here and then he would be attacking. If he had the pawn here, I take, he takes. Oh, I would take his queen. It would have still worked out, I guess. Anyway, being extra cautious there. Let me get castled. See if I can get something going on the f-file there. The rook is defended, so I don't have to worry about him taking. I'll just take back. It'll help me get more pressure on this pawn. Okay, I don't want to bring his knight forward, so let's just push there. Yeah, so this is defended twice and attacked twice. Let's kick this bishop and see where it wants to go. Could go here, take, take. Go here and he retreats or takes the knight. I take the bishop, retreats. I can put the knight here. Little wake-up call for my opponent there. So he is moving quickly up to this point. Now he's going to start to think. Yeah, I thought I would just go here. He doesn't have to take it, but what else is he going to do? His bishop is sort of in the way of a pawn coming forward to chase the knight away. Could have considered going into this square, I suppose. Okay, yeah, I wanted to lift my queen up. But we'll bring it out here. Don't know what that was about. Needed to take my knight first if he was going to do that. That's comes from trying too hard. Let's see. I could go with the queen, I guess. Pile up pressure on this pawn here. Bring the knight here, bring the queen in. So he put his queen on that side. Again, chase that queen away. Ah, now he takes, okay. Now this pawn is hanging. So he defends it. Now, let's just line up here. Chase that queen away. He's out of squares. He had to go to this square. Okay, so what to do here? I guess bring these guys forward. Okay, yeah, let's do something like this. Take some squares away from the king. And then, yeah, he's trying to get into that square, I see. Have to stop that. Okay, so what do I do here? I got myself into a bit of a quandary here, huh? Need to move my king, and I couldn't because there was nowhere to go to that kept the bishop defended. But now I can do it. Anyway, yeah, threatened to win the rook with a discovered check. Still winning the rook. Okay, so got him all blockaded here. And he can go to that square. That is true. What do we do here? Let him take a few pawns. You know, hold on to this one. I guess the thing to do is not to get hung up defending things you can't really, trying to defend things that you can't defend. Okay. He's defending that pawn, so we'll take these. Okay. He's just having a bad day, I guess. So he's got to hope for a stalemate here. I think it's just a mate in two. Well, it depends on which way he goes, I guess. He could still go the wrong way. Yeah, if he went that way, then there is a stalemate possibility here. So we have to be careful. If he goes here, there's a checkmate. So he goes there. So we'll just line these guys up. Just always got to make sure there's a square for his king to go to. Okay, game over. And I'm glad I was able to finish that. Maybe not in the most stylish way, but it worked. Got the win. Okay, let's start with d4 this time. So a good start to this stream. See if we can keep it going. Grau Maestro. RPL. Okay, this is the martial defense. It's not particularly good, but doesn't lose immediately, so. I think the trick is you need to play the knight here first because they have counterplay with this move. And then you can kick the knight. And let's just put the question to the bishop there. Does it want to trade? No. Let's defend then. This pawn is a bit weak. It trades. It's only defended by the queen. So if he had a knight here, you would have two pieces attacking and only one defending. I could bring the bishop here to defend, though. This pawn is defended now. Could go here with the knight to try and harass the bishop, but it could drop back. That's probably the point of this move, was to give this knight bishop a square to go to. So yeah, let's go ahead and castle and see if he wants to bring his knight out here. Ah, he does. He's preparing it because he wants to bring the knight here and not be faced with the pawn push. So let's go here. Lift up the queen and bring the rook over. Okay, I'm definitely going to kick that. I decided to just take it. So now I have the bishop pair. Oh, I see. He wins a pawn. But I win this pawn. And I do get the bishop pair. Do I want to trade or keep the queens on? I think I want to keep the queens on. Let's come back over here with a threat to his king side. He probably doesn't want to take the knight because the bishop is on a good diagonal after that trade. Yeah, he's looking at this idea here. Let's see, knight here though. Maybe here. If I could take this knight away, then I would have this fork here. But it's defended by his knight. Okay, what's going on here? He played this knight back. That's just a loose piece, right? Unless there's a trick. He resigned. Okay. There's no trick. He just made a mistake. Here, what was I, before the mistake, what was it like? A plus of 1.6 advantage for white. So that's not quite winning, but it's pretty good position for white. I mean, in the long run, black could try and attack this pawn, but his pieces are offsides. He's got to keep defending the king. What is the recommended move here to continue? Rook A to D8. Yeah, putting pressure here immediately. And then what is my response? Bring my rook out. Bishop to D2. Yeah, there's no immediate killer blow that I have here, so it's just an advantage, and I just keep playing. You can see one of the options it's considering is just taking that knight and giving him the doubled pawns over here. That's probably a pretty decent way to play, although it leaves you with opposite colored bishops, so you have to worry about drawish endgames if you play that way. Anyway, let's get another game.